Oh, gotta play it. Hello everyone, this is Willie Dizzle casting here another game. I've started kind of in the middle of the game because it's pretty boring. The beginning part anyway is, and I'm just showcasing a game between two great players. RoonRazer, actually I don't even know if he's good. Oh, they can't. I totally bought that they could slip by there. It looked like they could. Like, look at these two buildings. They are overlapping clearly, but the size of the gateway is very, different than actually how big it is. It looks a lot smaller. The little orb thing, yeah, looks smaller. Anyway, so I think the Zergman should be attacking the pylon, but whatever, Nestea, whatever. And forcing these, oh, that's a pylon, never mind. But still, this is good. This is great, because if you're going to be building some Zerglings anyway, you might as well do some damage with them. That is what I've always thought. But Nestea, getting those fast Zerglings, getting his queen ready. And he should be getting his expansion up relatively soon. So, oh, is that probe going to scout? Was that probe going to scout? Yeah, probably still will be able to scout. But the fast expansion is going down. And the probe is taking, well, maybe there's some ridiculous Gosu micro on that probe going on. I have no idea. But what I do know is that it's totally going to be able to see everything going on inside of his base. And another thing I know is that this Nexus is just starting to go down. So a little later than this hatch, but Protoss is usually a little bit easier to use to be on, if it's a 2-base Protoss versus a 2-base Zerg, the Protoss has the advantage, usually. Unless it's me versus, Huck or something, I don't know. Or, wow, that came out completely wrong. Unless it's me versus Nestea, in which case, obviously, Nestea has the advantage. But I think Zerg players are doing this more often, and this is what Spanishiwa did. He completely delayed gas, got complete saturation on both of his hatcheries. Just no gas until he had around 40 food or 40 supply, and then he finally started getting a ton of gas and got a lair and got speed and got upgrades and more hatcheries. That was very cool. But are we going to be seeing that fast hatch? That looks like what this drone is going to be doing. Yep, there he goes. Making it faster. This is another thing we've been seeing, especially on Nestea. He still hasn't even gotten speed yet. So he scouts this fast expansion. He realizes nothing aggressive can really be coming until after a couple of gateways go down and after he's got it saturated, because this is a pretty big investment. But this fast expansion, this expansion, and this expansion, all these hatcheries, if they stay alive for a long enough time, he should be able to kill Protoss, because 3-base Zerg is usually on a little bit of has an advantage over a 2-base Protoss. So unless the Protoss tries to do something crazy like expand here, or actually what they should do is expand here, and then they can actually wall this in completely, and there's really nothing a couple of Zerglings can do about that until you get roaches or really strong Zerglings. Missing an ninja, Nestea. Okay, there we go. But there's nothing Zerglings can do about that, so that's pretty good idea if you scout faster. But I don't think he's seen it yet. Let me check the cam here. No idea of that. All right, back to everyone. RoonRazer, I have no idea what his tech is going to be yet. He's got Forge, a gateway, and a cybernetic score. That's all he has, and some pylons and a lot of probes. But that's all he has in the way of tech. Let's whip out that spending tab. All right. That's useful. Couple gate. Oh, is it got to be like some weird 5-6 gate? He's got this gateway. He's got these 5 gate, 6 gate push. It looks like. But with this third hatch already up, I think Nestea should be able to hold it pretty easily. Let me count. Let's see how many drones he has, actually. Units. 42. Wow. 42. He has made 4 Zerglings total. So I guess he technically could have more drones. He could have 40. He could have 50 drones right now, because 4 Zerglings, that's like, really just 1, 2, 3, 4. So all that is the layer, they spawn in 2s basically. So he could have 2 more drones. Anyway, he's still doing a great job. This 5 gate, has he scouted? Let me check on the Nestea cam. No idea there's a 5 gate coming, but Nestea is so smart. I think he knows, and the speed, it might finish just in time. Is he getting a roach warren? Let's go check the production tab. Because usually, I think you need, maybe he already has one somewhere. Because I thought he had roaches in this game. Does not look like, oh! Where is that roach warren? Gosh. There it is. Okay, I thought it was an extractor. But 10 roaches on the way, and he must know the timing really well for the 6K push, and just be ready, making lots of units. Sorry about that weird little scroll, but he must be already making lots of units. And here comes the Protoss Doom army. Do they have any upgrades? No upgrades. +1 on the way. So if he's smart, he'll do a little bit of a delay push here. Kind of wait, sit. Oh, here come the roaches. This is a big battle. The +1 still hasn't finished, but it's about to 146. And the +1 really isn't going to come into effect in this engagement, unfortunately, for the Protoss. But Nestea, you know, he knows what's going on. He's making lots of roaches and zerglings, and now he's flooding zerglings now that he's killed a lot of the zealots. And this is going to be huge. You know, if he can hold this off, I think he'll be at a strong advantage because he has this third base. But if he doesn't hold it off, well, then he's probably just going to lose because he didn't hold it off. But you know, it looks like there is a lot of stalkers, and there aren't enough roaches, it looks like right now. But you know, the way the Zerg works, there's always going to be more units kind of joining into the fray, especially when you're this close to a Zerg base. But you know, I'm surprised we didn't see any spine crawlers going down when we saw this push coming out. But really, the thing is that if you put spine crawlers here, that's units that you're not building. So that means that this becomes more vulnerable. You know, he could have sacked the third. To be honest, he could have. If it's already been mining for, you know, a couple minutes, so he could have sacked it and still probably had a resource, a slight resource. See, the spine crawler is going down now. I don't know about that. Like, come on, either do them or don't. You know, with all those drones pulled off, I think he's probably going to be able to hold. But these stalkers, well, I'm not picking on any. There's one with 2 kills. You know, they're getting lots of kills on units, and you know, Nestea is he's probably gonna end up losing this third unless. Oh no, that's a lot of zerglings. That might be able to stop it. But we need to keep in mind, RoonRazer probably really should be taking the third. He has enough resources, or he could be flooding gateways, I guess. But really, like I don't know why he's splitting up his units like this. I don't think that's a very good idea, especially when you're playing against someone like Nestea who can just basically pull their drones, get a complete surround on your stalkers. But I don't think he should have split up his units. I think he should have brought all units over here and sniped this, basically. So here come the additional stalkers. And it looks like Nestea has a good defense over here now for these kind of smaller pushes that are waves, I guess, that are coming out. Oh, he held the third. That's really surprising. But, you know, 4 roaches and a couple of zerglings against this. And this, keep in mind, the zealots have +1, which means they will absolutely rip zerglings apart. And that's pretty huge. But, you know, I don't know. This big, it's just the flood. It's the Protoss flood. And usually you don't think about Protoss as flooding. But really, they do flood quite a lot. And I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, I don't know. I think if this is so exciting. I mean, this is one of the more intense, you know, battle. It's just they're always fighting each other. This is pretty interesting. So I'm not having time to talk about what I really wanted to, which was that I am getting new music, man. I love my new music. I love listening to music. I got some Notorious B.I.G., one of my favorite rappers now. Very good, very awesome. Very nice. No, he's great. I'd just like to point out one thing about the game real quick. No lair. Lairs are for suckers. Let me just get 3 bases, 3 spine crawlers, and a bunch of roaches and zerglings with speed and hold off anything. So, I'm seeing Blink coming out, and I would really like to see this getting anything. Come on. Because this is a big army, and it really should be attacking. And roaches and zerglings with no upgrades against stalkers and zealots with a +1 upgrade, stalkers and zealots are probably gonna win. So unless you have tons of roaches, but you know, this third base, I feel like, you know, it's time for him to sort of. I just don't know. I don't know what I think about getting that third base up and then holding off this attack. It should give him an advantage, but really, to me, it looks like the Protoss could still really win this game right now. But that's a lot of roaches. I think they should be able to kill the stalker line before it retreats. But with that blink micro, it can probably stay alive or retreat. It can stay alive a little longer because you could blink the damaged ones to the back and then keep them there. And then they can't really they're still dealing damage, but they're not taking as much damage. So the reburrowing spine crawler timing push. Oh, it's happening. Oh, who called it? So, you know, still making his probes. And Nestea, you know, I'm gonna go take a look at the probe drone count, the little units. 45, 52, and that is sad. I mean, it's not sad, but it's just like now he's probably gonna lose because of that fact right there. But he lost some probes when he was fighting the stalkers off at this. He lost some probes when he was fighting stalkers off, kind of in this general area, like kind of over here. But you know, now he's behind the probe, so if he doesn't start making some, you know, the Protoss is just gonna stomp him. And the third base is going down, and this should have been earlier, to be honest. I think it could have been easier to be aggressive after you got that third base down. Build up a small little army. There are the spine crawlers and the roaches doing nothing, and this looks like too many stalkers. Oh, Zerglings, that was great. Completely, all the zealots were just trapped in the middle there. But it looks like in the blink, and you know, they didn't really kill very many stalkers. They did a lot of damage to the shields and a little bit of damage to the health. But look at that. I mean, look at this stalker. It's got 50 of 80, so they really only did 30 damage. And if you wait a little while, that stalker's shield is going to be back to full in no time, and that's just it. But finally getting the upgrades that he needed, you know, the melee attack, I probably would have gotten ranged attack or armor if I could afford it. But, you know, I don't know. To me, it just looks like that's too many stalkers for a, you know, completely unupgraded roach force to deal with. And if he doesn't start building some drones, he's really going to lose this game, because I'm going to go back to that IMnestea and see. You know, to me, it's like each probe is worth more than a drone, because each probe is like, because in general, I would say Protoss is more cost effective until you get roach, or until you get infestors and broodlords and such. But before you get broodlords and infestors, you're just gonna be losing if you're trying to stay on equal economy. Back to production. Whoops, not units lost. Production, yay! Sorry, I keep looking over there. But looks like he's getting Spire. I don't know. I don't know about this. This is a crap ton of stalkers. Now they have 2/2 or just plus 2, but still, it's a ton of stalkers. The roaches aren't even going to be upgraded, and they're going to be the main damage dealers, I would say. Well, now the Zerglings are, because they're going to have +1, but still, I actually want to find out how much damage the Zergling does. 5 damage, soon to be 6, but 6 damage against, okay, a Zealot does 10 damage, and it has 2 attacks, as you can see there, right below how much damage it does. So it does 20 damage, a shot, and then it can 2-shot, that means it can 2-shot Zerglings. Wait, let me check something. It does 20 damage a shot. Okay, yeah, it can 2-shot Zerglings, basically. So that's going to make the Zerglings way less effective. But the roaches are still going to be strong, and I think you really should have gotten the roach attack upgrade. But you didn't. So whatever, Nestea. Alright, that's okay. A little miss micro there. The stalker should have taken advantage of that. The army was split completely in half, and ooh, this is not looking as good as it was. But you know, 26 Zerglings streaming on the way. He could actually pull some aggro here, but I don't know. I think he should. Yeah, well, making Zerglings is a good call, and I was wrong about that. But making Zerglings is a great call, especially when you have a Spire up. Where's that? That Spire. There's that Spire. I don't know why he's not making Mutas with it. He has a bunch of gas, but he's pressed on minerals, which is why he should have been making some drones, I think. But you know, there's no accounting for this amount of stalkers. What can you do? You know, you have to make roaches and Zerglings. You have to. You can't just make drones. And with this third base up, Protoss, I think he has a clear edge right now in this game. Especially, oh wait, has he flooded drones? I'm gonna just look at units. 50, you know, he's catching up a little bit, but you know, Protoss, whatever. You just can't be that. Dark Shrine coming on the way. I believe it is right here. Yes, it is. Looks like a pylon. But I've watched this game before. So, what upgrade was that? Yeah, 3 attack. They do 17 damage to roaches, and roaches have a lot of health, but you know, with that many stalkers, the roaches are just gonna melt. And the Zerglings are doing a great amount of damage, you know, but you know, Zerglings, they're just gonna melt so fast to this stalker ball, who is dealing so much damage. And okay, I don't know if it's 13 with the plus